Alright, this is a quick one. What you're seeing may look familiar as we've been doing some NiFi stuff for a while. I'm in the OpenFlow version run by Snowflake, and I want to show you a combination of some interesting things. Now, if you looked in the past, I have had a thing that grabs the MTA bus data from the Siri JSON interface. That is a good one to track what's going on. So that NiFi code is elsewhere. I migrated that to the Snowflake OpenFlow version, which required doing nothing. Especially this one, I'm pushing things to Kafka so that we can get this in a topic. I'm actually using StreamNative to host this because they're awesome and super fast. So once I get it into Kafka, I could have just pushed this to OpenFlow, from OpenFlow to Snowflake, but I wanted to try out the new Snowpipe streaming version 2 high-speed architecture, and fortunately I didn't have to write it myself. Thanks to Cursor AI. They wrote the app. There was some back and forth as we were tweaking things and debugging together. It's teamwork, but a lot of fun. So I'm going to send 500 records and then take a look at the dashboard that they wrote for me, which is pretty awesome. As you can see, this is in Streamlit, and it tells you where things are, gives you line activity, and we've got, latest records. This is pretty awesome. Now, next thing we'll look at is, let's look at the application running. Now, it created for me in Docker, and it provides all kinds of scripts to help you to deploy it, build it, monitor it, all kinds of cool stuff there. Really easy. All I did is go back and forth a couple times and check things out. And this is running, so let's send some more data over. So let's just send all 8,000. That'll happen, as you can see, pretty fast in NiFi, and this is a very, very tiny instance. And make sure this gets the latest data, and then we'll check back in here as it's loading that data. But where is it loading it to? Let's check that out. And that's in yet another window. Let's get to the right place. Many windows. Okay, so over here, it's going into this table here that is created in Snowflake, but it is an Iceberg table, and it's running on an external S3 volume I have set up, and it's just a folder getting that data. We got a lot of permissions for it, and you can see they also created a bunch of views for me to check out to see what the data looks like and check out the quality. Nice, thank you for that. They also suggested some extra fields in my table, so I altered my table and added that. But yeah, 43 columns here, and let's run something here from my workbook environment. I could push this to Git too. If we look down here, we could see the data coming in and the range for lat and long, and they created a couple of interesting views for me here. Now, they also came up with some pretty smart ideas on making sure that they're within a certain range of the lat long, so they know that these buses are in New York City and not somewhere else, because that's where they're supposed to be. So we'll run that query, but we could take a look at the views that it created for me and make sure that, because sometimes these are coming in empty or null or in string, and it's making sure that they're in the range for New York City. Pretty cool to do that, and using some of the geo functions that we have native to Snowflake. And we get a lot of stuff here. I probably shouldn't run this all on a small environment, but let's take a look. So this is using the new Snowpipe streaming. It is also using Iceberg tables. and we are using OpenFlow. So the nice combination there. And the script is in Python. I could try a version in Java as well if people are interested. But I just wanted to try this out, see how this is going. Take a look at the data. Oh, I could probably sort it here. Is probably smarter. You grab the S2. Yeah, lots of different ways to execute the code here. And we can see where the buses are. Okay, that's the time here. I'm recording this at 5 p.m. Eastern Time in sunny Jersey here. Looking at what's going on in New York. Is it a good day to be on the bus? You know, not a bad day. Oh, this one's got a lot of capacity on that bus. Okay. So, next up, we'll hit this with Cortex and start making, you know, some AI analytics around this to say, you know, what's your best options for buses? And then we could also put the subway data in there. We could put in, we can get a little bit of Uber data as we saw in that Hex Hackathon. So some fun stuff we could do there. And again, having an AI buddy who will help generate that stuff for me is really nice. Like I said, we pushed through 20,000 records. Someone's going to complain to me that I'm using too much storage, but it's for all for good. So thanks for watching. I'll make sure I get this code up into GitHub soon once I make sure that it didn't leave any security issues. I can actually have it check and then check that with another AI and then maybe even push it through Cortex, have it check. Because sometimes, you know, these got to make sure things are only in a secure environment or in a vault and there's no, you know, hidden credentials anywhere. Fortunately, we're using key pair. So no worries on the Snowflake side, but you got to check out for those Kafka and other credentials. Thanks.